Number 4, no more communion on the tongue. This is going to be banned. The bishops, for the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, they don't like communion on the tongue. They don't like pre-Vatican II devotion and liturgical practice. And many bishops do not like the traditionalist movement. You've seen even bishops like Bishop Barron say things that are hostile towards the traditional movement. And the very heart of the traditional movement is not Latin. It's communion on the tongue. It's the reverence by which our Lord in the Eucharist is treated on the altar by the priest in the traditional Latin Mass, and then at the altar rail by the laity when they receive him. If you take away communion on the tongue in the Latin Mass, it's like a nuclear hit on the Latin Mass and the traditional community. It will cause division in the traditional community. And ultimately, what will happen is that traditional Catholics will just not receive communion Sunday by Sunday. They'll stay in the pew. Now, before you freak out, I've spoke about this before. Traditionally, Catholics did not receive every day, every Sunday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this on the screen for y'all to see. I've put it up before, but there's new people here, so I want to share it with them as well. Traditionally, Catholics received less than 10 times per year. Even nuns and religious received very rarely. Check this out. All right, so traditionally, Dominican nuns received the Eucharist 15 times per year. Poor Clare nuns, Franciscan sisters, 6 times per year. St. Louis IX, King of France, he died in 1270. He received the Eucharist 6 times per year. Probably the custom was for the pious to receive on Christmas, Easter, and Pentecost. That's 3 times per year. And then if you were more disposed, you would also receive on the Assumption of Our Lady, the Ascension, the Feast of St. Peter and Paul, maybe other major feasts. But that's 6 times a year. The Third Order of St. Dominic, so your secular tertiary Dominicans, 4 times a year. St. Elizabeth of Hungary received 3 times per year. That was probably on Easter, Christmas, and Pentecost. And then most laymen, your farmers, your blacksmiths, your housewives, they were receiving 1 time per year. They were receiving at Easter time, usually on Maundy Thursday or Easter Sunday or Low Sunday. This is when most laymen were receiving the Eucharist. Now, it may be that we get to the point where you attend a traditional Latin Mass, you don't receive communion, and then at some point, privately, during the week, there is a distribution of Holy Communion in which the priest communicates the faithful. So you would show up, it wouldn't be a Mass, and you would be able to receive the Eucharist. But if they ban the Eucharist on the tongue, this is what's going to happen. We've already seen this, by the way, with, I'm going to put him on the screen here, Bishop Stika here in the United States. Let's see if I can make this a bit smaller. There we go. He says, yes, I'm going to put it over here. Yes, they will not give communion on the tongue as per my instruction. And if the person makes a scene, they will be asked to leave and not permitted to return, looks like unlike, but unless this passes. Reception of the Eucharist is not to be used as a statement of personal piety, protection of others, etc., etc. So Bishop Stika has said not only will there not be communion on the tongue, but if the person makes a scene, I assume this means they get down on their knees and stick out their tongue, they will be asked to leave. The lay Eucharistic minister or the deacon is going to be a bouncer and kick these people out. That's what we're coming to. We already have a bishop saying as much. This is Bishop Stika. Not good. I also want to share another picture of Bishop Stika. Here he is. And there's a picture of, he's showing off a picture of himself and Bill Clinton right there. Kind of says it all. This is what we're up against. So this could be happening in a diocese near you or in your own diocese. If you're a traditional Catholic who will not receive on the hands, like myself, you'll just be receiving sacramentally less often. And that's that. Jesus is still with us.